So you're wondering which is the most effective weight loss injection, either semaglutide or tirzepatide. I get that question a lot. I'm a family nurse practitioner that specializes in medical weight loss, and those are the two medications that I most frequently prescribe. And that comes up a lot. Which one is better? Which one do you recommend? And I always tell my patients that per the studies, tirzepatide is the most effective. It works on two receptor sites, whereas the semaglutide works on one receptor site. Another benefit of the tirzepatide is that patients typically have less side effects. So if you're someone who has tried the semaglutide and you simply could not tolerate it, then the tirzepatide might be a better option for you. However, what I found in over a couple of years of practice with both of these medications is that most of my patients prefer the semaglutide. Now I do microdosing, so with either medication, doesn't matter which one. We start with a very low dose, we increase it very slowly if needed, and as soon as a patient's appetite is suppressed, then we don't go up any further. So that really kind of almost negates the issues that some people have with side effects. If I have a patient that's tried maybe, let's say, semaglutide before and they were just super sick, when I dig into it a little further, typically what I find is that they were either started with a dose that was too big or they jumped up too quickly. And some people are very sensitive and they really have to baby step it to be able to tolerate it. Most of the initial side effects go away, honestly, after your body gets used to the medications. So another thing that I have patients consider too is that what I've found is that most of my patients need a larger quantity of the tirzepatide to decrease their appetite enough, that it's manageable for them. It makes sense when you consider that the tirzepatide maximum dose, now I don't have patients ever do maximum, but the maximum dose for that medication is 150 units per week, or 15 milligrams per week, but let's just talk in units. And then the semaglutide maximum is 100 units a week. So you can see why oftentimes tirzepatide might need a little bit bigger dose. So it costs more and it typically needs a bigger dose. Not by a great lot, but let's say I have somebody that's good for 30 units of semaglutide. They may need 40 or 50-ish of tirzepatide, something like that, just to kind of give you a comparison. So I typically find that most of my patients prefer to just do the microdosing of semaglutide. Many of them have better appetite suppression. I personally have taken both. I use those medications, struggle with my weight for years until those medications really. And I prefer the semaglutide. It just, for me personally, just controls my appetite better. So just something to consider. Also, the other point I wanted to make is that regardless of which medication you go with, you have to make some other changes. And there are people who do this, if you just take the shot and you don't change any of your habits, you don't change any of the way you're eating or exercising or drinking water, eating your protein, all the other things, if you don't make any changes, then you're not going to have long-term success. What you really need, a balanced approach, a holistic approach, in taking in the whole account of all of those things. So if you're interested in that, we'd be happy to help you out. If you happen to live in Kentucky or Tennessee, those are the states I'm licensed in. If you have any questions, even if you're not one of those states, just ask that below and I'll be happy to answer.